What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of the 10 Horse Monty boat build session. We are going to be mounting the Garmin LiveScope. It's the LVS32 Transducer. Got a little shadow there. Pretty straightforward. There's a few things you need to know though. So it comes in this package like this, and we've kind of got it all pulled out. What you've got is a couple different mounts. If you're going to be mounting it on the head of your trolling motor, you got this little bracket, and you will be using this piece here. It's got the little slits in it, and you can see the slits. That's where this fitting goes through. What do you call that? I can't remember what they call it. It's like a hose clamp or something, a giant hose clamp. Anyway, that goes through there if you're gonna be using that. I'm gonna be mounting it on the shaft. So we're doing this right here, the starboard side. And the reason we're doing the starboard side is because it's a good idea to have your prop on the inside of the boat. You know, especially if you've got a glass boat and you're gonna be putting a boat cover on there, you always want that prop on the inside. And I don't like it sticking out over here because you snag it and stuff. It just sticks out over the boat more. So prop on the inside, which means we're gonna be mounting the transducer on here. And I've also got my HDI kind of routed on this side. So it just makes sense to go this way. And it doesn't matter which way the transducer is facing. So here's the transducer right here. It can be facing this way or this way on the shaft. The unit is going to automatically correct and find the right position of the transducer. So you're going to get the right view. Once it turns on, it's supposed to find out, it's supposed to do the calculations and should be good. So let's kind of put this together. I'll show you this bracket and how to set it up. The LiveScope package also comes with a transom mount. If you're gonna mount your LiveScope on the transom, you can also do that. I'm not gonna do that, obviously. We're going up on the trolling motor with it. So another thing that's in the package is obviously the black box. This is the whole key to making everything work. For mounting the LiveScope on the shaft of the trolling motor, you're gonna need these two pieces right here. This is like a clamp. All the hardware is included, all stainless steel, all high quality stuff. It even comes with an Allen wrench, which is pretty handy. The way this works is you have your transducer here. You can see this hole right here. That is where this clamp is gonna go. You've got three pieces. You've got a rubber washer, you got a big stainless flat washer, and then you've got your bolt. So you're just gonna take this piece right here. Actually, the best way to do it is to run your flat on and then your rubber washer. Rubber washer is key. It puts friction on the transducer, but it still allows it to pivot. So you can make adjustments. I'll show you what that's all about here shortly. You don't want to over tighten this either. So all we're doing is putting this on here. This has got like an 8-degree offset as well. It kind of shoots that beam away from the head of your trolling motor so you get a better shot of things. I know a lot of the crappie guys I think are going with a 0 degree, but that may be something I'll be looking into in the future. But for now, I'm just happy to have this, and we're gonna put it on and see what kind of picture we can get out of it. Taking this, putting it in here, and then you're just gonna run your screw in there. It's pretty straightforward. Get it kind of halfway tightened up and get it started. And like I said earlier, it does come with an Allen wrench, which is nice. It seems like I'm always hunting for an Allen wrench that fits the hole that I need. You know, it's like I got a whole set of Allen wrenches, but the one I need is always missing. So it's nice when you buy something and it comes with its own Allen wrench. Allen wrench. Just gonna tighten this up a little bit. And it does say up on this bracket. I don't know if you can see that. So up would be this way towards the top of the transducer. Gonna just snug it up a little bit. And it's grooved, so it kind of locks in there. You don't want to over tighten it because you still want it to be able to pivot a little bit. You want to be able to do that, and you can make adjustments on the water to get the right picture. So that's it on that. Got it set up like this. And now what you're going to do is you've got these 4 bolts here, and you've got this other clamp. So you're going to put this around your trolling motor and tighten it up. Let's go do that real quick. All right, we're up here to the front of the boat, and one piece that I forgot to mention that is very, very important. It's a little rubber mat. You've got to put this mat on the inside of this clamp. And what that does is it keeps it from sliding up and down your trolling motor. It just creates resistance. If you don't, you can't get it tight enough. It's gonna want to slide. So it's very important to put this mat on the inside of that clamp. It's a little bit tricky to do from what I've heard. I've watched some videos on how to install this, and that is one of the most important things, is to make sure you do not forget to add that little rubber mat in there. So we're gonna lay this in here like this, and kind of got to curl that up to get it on the inside. But eventually, if you keep messing with it, it'll work. Now, obviously, if you've got room, the best thing to do is to disengage this trolling motor and pull it down. It's a whole lot easier. But unfortunately, the way my trailer is, where my winch strap mounts, it sticks up really high, and I don't have much head clearance in here, and I can only go just a little bit. So I gotta work with it like this. But I've got them kind of snugged up, and now I'm gonna tighten it up. You want to kind of look at it, and you want this to be pointing the same direction as the head of your trolling motor. So that way it's always right off the head of your trolling motor. You always know where it's firing. And it looks like it's actually pretty good, just like that. So we're gonna go ahead and snug everything up. Okay, we got the bracket tightened up. It looks good. I don't think it's going anywhere. The mat's underneath there. It feels pretty stable. So now we gotta route this transducer cable down the shaft of the trolling motor. One thing they always tell you is to not use cable ties. Cable ties, they can pinch the cord, and these transducers have some really sensitive wires in here. And to be honest with you, I've used cable ties in the past, not had a problem with them. What I've always done is I wrap black tape around the wire first, around the cable first, and then I put the cable ties on there real loosely. I got to thinking about this, and I cut all these off, redid them with tape, and all you gotta do is just take that black tape and wrap it a couple times around the shaft, and then put the cable in the mix and just wrap it. So this is my HDI transducer cable, and one important thing is you want to leave slack right here, right up towards the front where that head turns, the shaft turns. You want to leave some slack in there. You don't want to pinch your wires. So I'm going to follow the same pattern with the LiveScope transducer. I'm just going to run it down the shaft like that and basically follow everything I've had. And you can see on the foot pedal control right here, going into my foot pedal, I've used cable ties, but I did a really loose. This isn't spinning, this isn't turning, so in my opinion, I think that's okay, but I'm probably going to tape the LiveScope transducer cable onto the existing cable right here. And TH Marine makes this rod sleeve. I think I call it a rod sleeve, I don't know, but it's like this big, it's like a 6 foot long piece of fabric that's got Velcro on it, and you can wrap it around all of your cables, and it makes it nice and neat. So I ordered one of those last night from Omnia Fishing, should be here in a couple days. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all this set up, and then once that rod sleeve comes in, or that TH Marine trolling jacket, I think they call it, trolling cable jacket, it's something, I don't know, you can look it up, it's pretty cool. But once I get that in, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap all this up and make it nice and neat. One of the key things is this little split where your shaft rests. You definitely want to make sure that you're centered on that. You don't want it to get pinched. You want to kind of secure it pretty good right here. But all you're doing is I just take my black tape and I make a couple wraps. I'm just gonna wrap around this. I like to wrap it without the cable in there once at least, just to get a good setting. And then you're gonna lay your cable in there like this and just wrap around it. Like 3 times is good. And just check it every once in a while. You're always looking at your trolling motor, every time you put it in the water, have a look at it and see if that tape's holding up. And if it's starting to get loose, well, just tear it off and wrap some more stuff. And it'll last several months like that. You might have to wrap it, 2 or 3 times a year, but just make it 3 wraps or so around there. And just grab your scissors, cut it off. Just do this all the way up the trolling motor shaft. I got the cable taped all the way up and down the trolling motor shaft. I just use black tape, and it's running all the way down the foot pedal right here. It's nice and secure, and I've got a little bit of slack right here. So I'm gonna just kind of play around with this and see how much slack I need, and then I'm gonna tape this excess. It's gonna be on the deck in the way, unfortunately. As I got further into the transducer install, I realized that the transducer actually plugs into the black box. So all the wiring, the excess wiring, is run through this hole that I drilled in the deck of my boat. and it's all down below here, and it's plugged into the black box, which the black box is mounted underneath the deck right here. So I don't have to worry about this excess transducer cable as I did with the Lowrance. This is your Garmin network adapter cable. This goes into your black box, and it's only, I think it's like 6 feet long. So you need to mount that black box within 6 feet of the back of your graph, actually a little bit closer just to give some slack. And then coming off of that, you have the network. This is the marine network cable. This is like an extension, goes around here, and then it's got this kind of Ethernet plug. This is actually what plugs into the back of your Garmin graph. So make sure you got plenty of room. You know, you need to mount that black box close enough to the graph so you got a little bit of slack and stuff. And then here's your power cord. You got a power cord that plugs into the back of your graph for power, obviously. This will be running to the fuse block, and then the fuse block to the battery. And then you've got this right here. This is the Ethernet. This is the networking cable, and it's going to be running down here to the black box. So that's your only 2 plugs, as long as you're just using this as a standalone just for LiveScope. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. And I've got a boat mod playlist. When I bought this boat last year, I did a bunch of projects. So check out that playlist if you guys are doing some John boat mod stuff. Maybe there's something in there that will help you out if you got some ideas. Maybe you know, you'll see how I did my John boat. I'm pretty happy with everything so far. Excited to get this LiveScope up and running and get out there, and it's gonna change my game, hopefully. At least I'll be able to see the fish. Not saying I'm gonna be able to catch them, but you know, I got the LiveScope from Bass Fishing Electronics. If you guys are looking for some graphs, trolling motors, anything electronics, Bass Fishing Electronics, Steve's a great dude. Super knowledgeable, great tournament fisher. He's a great tournament fisherman. He's spent a lot of time with the forward-facing sonar and the Garmin and Lowrance and all the products. So check him out. All right, folks, I got everything mounted. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like, I don't know, it's less than 50 degrees out here in the garage. It's 10 outside. Let's turn this main power supply on, go up front and do the reveal. Power this on. Okay, let's walk around here. Let's see if all this work has paid off. So we can fire these graphs up. Yep, the Garmin's already turned on. Let's see. Got the Lowrance on. Everything's firing up like it's supposed to. Here's my new graph mount. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. This little piece right here, dual graph mount. So we're gonna hit agree, and we're gonna go back out. Let's see, we need to go to sonar, select. Let's go to LiveScope, select. There we are. Works as advertised. The Lowrance is firing up. We're good, man. We're good. I cannot wait to get this out on the water and play around with it, get the angle set right. But it feels good to get it all done. Got my fuse block mounted right here underneath the deck. The LiveScope black box is right there. I mean, I'm not a big fan of having this exposed, but that's really the only way I can do it. Just how it worked out. Everything's set back up. I'm ready to rock and roll. Till next time.